The Vikings playing host to the Lady Falcons of Volunteer. Tennessee High secured the number 4 seed in the conference tournament with their victory against Volunteer last week. These teams played just a handful of days ago, and the result of that was Tennessee High pulling out a very, very tight victory, 53-52 in the last 3.1 seconds of that ball game. The ending of that game was fairly wild. We had a little controversy with a timeout that led to a foul that led to all types of chaos for about the last minute and a half. But by the end of the ball game, Torrey Ryan was on the line with 2 shots, made 1 out of 2, and that put the Vikings over the top and got them this home court advantage for this evening's game. So these teams are familiar with each other. It'll be the 3rd time these teams have seen one another here in just really from January forward. So should be an interesting matchup as we roll into this. A couple of things to keep in mind. Tennessee High earned that. It was basically a 3-way tie for 4th place by the end of the conference season. Tennessee High earned this 4th seed by having a 3-1 record combined against the other 2 teams, both Cherokee and Volunteer. That's why we're at Viking Hall this evening, streaming to you live. So, should be an interesting contest. The last game obviously took place just a handful of days ago. Very close circumstance. These 2 teams are quite evenly matched, even though they have, to a certain extent, different strengths. Volunteer with a little bit more size, Tennessee High with a little bit more quickness. Both have wings that can shoot the ball pretty well, so it should be a really interesting contest as we move on through. Now, as this sets up for the rest of the conference tournament schedule, obviously it's a one and done here. So whoever wins this game will actually punch their ticket to the Big 7 semifinals and put themselves in a position to move on into the region tournament. As we continue on forward here, that's really the long and short of it. Whoever wins this ball game tonight punches their ticket to move forward. Whoever loses this game tonight is going to say sayonara to the 2020 and 2021 basketball season. So a ton on the line here this evening. As we get prepared for the national anthem, we will also have starting lineups here shortly, and then we will get this game underway.
Your Tennessee High Lady Vikings. At this time, we ask you to please rise and remain motionless to honor America as we present our national anthem. Prior to the singing of the anthem, we'd like to remind you that TSSAA rules provide for fair competition among players. Our athletes recognize that judgment calls are made in good faith and that they must abide by the decisions of the officials. Spectators are important in this process too. Fans can help promote good sportsmanship by observing the rules of fair play. Each fan is requested to take personal responsibility for keeping this game at a high level of sportsmanship. Spectators can support their high school by refraining from derogatory remarks or cheers. Good sportsmanship is one of the primary purposes of high school athletics. The TSSAA hopes you will enjoy this contest and support your athletes and your high school in a positive and sportsmanlike manner. Now to sing our national anthem, Coach Chloe Neal.
Assistant Coach Chloe Neal on the national anthem. We've got starting lineups coming your way. First for the Lady Falcons of Volunteer.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, for your starting lineups, beginning with the Lady Falcons of Volunteer.
Number 3, Atlee Dean, a senior at the guard. Number 12, Kennedy Kniddle, also a senior at the wing. Emily Wyatt, a sophomore, number 13. Number 14, Veda Barton, at the post. And number 23, Aaliyah Crowley, senior at the post. Tyrone Smith, head coach. Now time for Tennessee High's starting lineups. Kim Bright, head coach. Charlie Tiller and Elizabeth Vance, assistants. Number 10, Tori Ryan, starting at the post. Number 12, Kendall Cross at the point, sophomore. Number 22, Madison Blair on the wing, also a sophomore. Riley Fritz, number 23, point guard wing, senior. And finally, number 25, Annie Hayes, also a senior, plays the wing as well. So as we get set for the tip-off here, again, these teams played each other just a handful of days ago in one of the more classic ball games of this season. We'll see exactly how this all turns out again, and again with the higher stakes this time around, with basically the season on the line for both of these two teams. One punches their ticket and goes forward. The other goes home. That's how tournament play works. Let's get this thing underway. We've got number 10, Tori Ryan, and number 23, Aaliyah Crowley, or actually, number 14, Veda Barton going to jump here. We'll get this game moving. The ball is up, and Volunteer wins the opening tip. Number 3, Dean in the backcourt, going to be met by number 23, Fritz out front. Tennessee High in a man-to-man to start the game. Volunteer in a familiar 1-2-2 low set. Looking to go inside to Barton. Did a lot of this in the first ball game. Barton is that, what we mentioned in the pregame, has a significant size advantage inside. And the first ball game, or the ball game that we saw here recently, she was very effective, Barton, inside and outside. Stepped in on the post and then also made some jump shots from the outside. Her first free throw rattles in. Volunteer takes an early lead. We'll be looking for a lot more of that from Barton on the offensive end, moving inside and out to the kind of the high post, and then also low, where Tennessee High is going to probably try to front her like they did there, and then rotate in behind. Volunteer in a 2-3 in the half court. Tennessee High with 4 around 1. Ryan in the high post, and then 4 wings around the perimeter. Right? Fritz into cross, out to Blair's got a good look at a 3. It's going to go up and in. Mackenzie Blair continues her hot shooting. Shot the ball really well down the stretch, and gets off to a really nice start this evening, stepping into a wide open 3. Nice find there by Kendall Cross. Tennessee High drops in back into a zone here, 2-3 as well, so they're going to match this up. Crawley from the top of the key elbow area rattles one home, and Volunteer reclaims the lead 4-3. Good offense there by Volunteer. Good ball movement. Nice flash there by Crawley. She was able to turn and get a good look at the basket and knock it down. Tennessee High now with a 3 around 2. Over to Hayes on the perimeter. Nice little inside screen there to get the ball to Blair. Cross is going to take it to the left, up off the glass. No good. Good box out there by Barton. Keep Tori Ryan off the glass. And Volunteer pushes ahead. Tennessee High recovers. There to Dean. Cross over there to Kniddle's. Got a good shooter from that area. Up and off the rim. No good. Good board there by Annie Hayes. Nice strong rebound on the other side. Kniddle made several of those shots from that very spot in the last game these two teams played. Nice move there by Fritz. Good little whirl. Could not get that ball to go. Good move into the middle. Just couldn't quite find the range. Volunteer back Tennessee High going to stick with that kind of one, it looks like kind of an offset 2-3 with Hayes up top. They're going to put Blair in the middle and move Tori Ryan to the backside wing. Different alignment, but I think it's against this larger Volunteer unit, it's actually a pretty good matchup. So, learning a little bit from the first time around. Dean takes it in strong, no good off the glass. Tipped and rebounded there by Fritz. Good challenge there by the Vikings underneath, and they secure another offensive possession. So a little bit different alignment there by Coach Bright with her girls on the inside, moving Mackenzie Blair into the middle, or excuse me, Madison Blair to the middle, and moving Ryan out to the wing. Hayes has a good look at a three, and there it is. Annie Hayes doing what she does best. Steps into a three, kind of right into the gap of that zone. Had a good look at it, lined it up, and knocked it down. So Tennessee High taking the early lead with back-to-back three-pointers on the offensive end. Good news for Tennessee High that their outside shots are falling early on. Good move right there by Wyatt. Nice little sidestep, good ball fake. Step to the right, created some space and knocked down a three. Gives Volunteer the lead back. So already several lead changes here in the first 3 minutes of the ball game. Should be a good one if it continues along these lines. Again, two very evenly matched teams. Even though the strengths are slightly different, both teams are well balanced and well coached. So Tennessee High with a 1-4 high here offense against the. Now they're dropping back into more of a 3 around 2 against this zone. There's Hayes to Blair in the short corner. He's got a good look at it, and she knocks it down. Madison Blair continues the hot shooting here. Starts the game 2 for 2, 5 points in the early going as we approach the halfway point of the first quarter. If I'm Coach Bright, I'm getting the ball to her at every opportunity. She's really shot the ball here well recently, and that confidence for the sophomore is growing very obviously. So Fritz on the ball out front. Vikings will switch back to the man-to-man. Knittel off the drive, takes it up strong, no good. Tori Ryan on the backside gets that defensive board. Good job by the Vikings there, forcing kind of an off-balance shot, and Ryan was there to clean up the glass. Tennessee High again takes the lead back, 8-7. In the half court against this 2-3, consistent 2-3 zone for Volunteer. Ryan and Blair kind of working down low with Cross. Nice pass inside by, very nice look there by Taylor Cross. Drove to her left. Nice little hook pass into the middle right there. Found Tori Ryan, who was cutting into the middle. Made a nice catch and a fairly easy finish from inside 5 feet. Nice job. Good teamwork there in that case between those two individuals. Tennessee High sticking with a man-to-man. Trying to keep the ball out of the paint here. Fritz taking Dean. Wyatt's going to step aside. Same move that she made just a second ago, but better defense that time. Tennessee High read that one. Learned from the mistake last time. Wyatt did that same pump fake and moved to the right. Tennessee High adjusted their defense there. Got a good hand in the face of Wyatt there. It caused her shot to come up short. And off the rebound, step out of bounds, and Tennessee High gets the ball back. Much better defense that time against that move. Here goes Cross into the middle, kicks out to Blair. Just barely keeps the ball in bounds. Fritz the inside, nice pass down low to Ryan, who's got a nice easy look at it. Volunteer couldn't quite rotate fast enough off that drive, and Riley Fritz found Tori Ryan wide open for her second bucket back-to-back, and Tennessee High takes a 5-point lead here. Just under 3 minutes to go. Tennessee High kind of trying to keep this ball pressure out. Dribble handoffs primarily for Volunteer against this Viking man-to-man. Nice defense there by Tori Ryan, moving her feet, using her hands. And that ball was shot right into her hand. Here's Blair again, stepping into a three. I like the confidence there. Stepped into it with a wide open look, just a little bit short. But again, starting the game 2 out of 3 with 2 pretty good looks at threes right there. I do like the confidence. So 1-4 high here for Tennessee High. Volunteer switch to a man-to-man. Inside to Ryan, and she's going to get a block foul. It's a good call. It actually is a really good call in the fact that number 23, Crawley, kind of stepped underneath Ryan on the way down. You got to give her room to come down. That's the proper call in that scenario. If the contact is made before the player comes down, you cannot call a charge there. It's got to be a block call. That was the proper call by the referee. So we'll give him credit for making that right observation. Fritz to trigger into Cross, who's shoved from behind. Got a foul on the floor there. The first foul was on Crawley, number 23. This foul is going to be on Dean, number 3. First for both. Tennessee High going to trigger in out of bounds in a line set. Kick straight out top to Blair. She's going to drive on in, kick over to Newport. Mac Newport's in the ball game for Tennessee High. Inside to Ryan. Nice little ball fake, takes it up off the glass, no good. And Dean comes down from her high post position to snag that rebound. She's going to kick into the front court here. Over to Crawley's got a good look at a three, and she buries it. Nice look, stepped into it confidently and knocked it down. Nice transition trail offense there. Led to a wide open look from Aaliyah Crawley, and she buried it. So that brings Volunteer back within 2. They stick with a man-to-man. Little scissors offense here for Tennessee High. Riley Fritz takes it in hard to the left, no good. Chased down, nice rebound there by number 14, Barton. In good position there to secure that board. Nice move by Fritz, just left a little bit short there. Dean's going to drive on in, take it in strong, take it up strong, no good, off the back, and rebounded by Blair. Grabs it off the board, he's going to push it up. Takes it into the teeth of the D, kicks it over to Ryan. Nice ball fake by Tori Ryan, fooled the entire defense right there with a quick ball fake. Nice little reverse pivot and took it in strong and scored. Nice move by number 10, Tori Ryan. Faked out everybody there and was able to step on in and knock down that bucket. 6 points early on for Tori Ryan, getting some good scoring out of the senior there on the offensive end. Volunteer on the offensive end now, trying to spread Tennessee High out, kind of running some motion in this case. Nice move there by number 1, Huff, but she lost it off her knee. Nice little hands there by Riley Fritz to be able to affect that drive. And it's a turnover for Volunteer heading back to Tennessee High in this case. Some subs in, right, for Volunteer. Again, the aforementioned Huff is in the game. Kendra Huff, number 1, sophomore. So Volunteer sticking with a man-to-man, looks like, on this possession as we head under a minute to play here in the first quarter. Fritz is working inside. Thinks she shuffled her feet there. She did. Good call. And Annie Hayes did check back in for Tennessee High as well. So make sure we got everybody straight on the floor here. Just a little extra step there. A little turnover there for Tennessee High as we move into this. Just under 50 seconds to play here in the first quarter. Tennessee High has a 4-point lead. Good offensive sets here for the first quarter for Tennessee High. Has led to some pretty easy buckets. Nice there. Good hands by Fritz. Kicked out by Ryan. She's going to take it in strong. Takes it up strong, off the backboard, off the rim, and good. Nice little pump fake to get the defender to fly by right there. Good lead pass by Tori Ryan off that steal, but Fritz made that whole thing happen. Good active hands defensively and was the recipient on the offensive end. We have a double dribble on the offensive end there for Volunteer. Again, Tennessee High with a lot of active hands defensively. Good help off of their player to be able to get that and try to dig that ball out. And it's caused a couple of turnovers here for Volunteer in the early going. About 10 seconds to go here in the first quarter. Tennessee High with a 6-point lead, holding for the final shot of the quarter. We got Cross up top coming off a Ryan screen. Ryan rolls, and they're going to get a 3-second call in that case. Turnover, Tennessee High. Back to Volunteer with just under 4 seconds to go. Ball into Volunteer into the front court. I'm going to get a look at it from about half court. Crawley launches it, just leaves it just a little bit short. So after one, good competitive first quarter. Tennessee High shoots the ball very well, gets some timely defense as well, and opens up a 6-point lead at the end of one. 16-10 Tennessee High. We're going to kick it over to our man Colin. He's going to take it away.
Ooh, fumble. Let's give her a Renaissance replay. Make the right call with Renaissance and get cell phone protection with Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking. Sign up today.
No matter what size adventure you're into, the award-winning family of Hyundai SUVs has something that'll make everyone happy. We get it. That's a lot to drool over. Hyundai, the longer you look, the more there is to like.
Drive a new 2021 Tucson for $19,900.
Nobody beats Friendship Hyundai of Bristol and Johnson City. We're dealing.
Welcome back to VSN, the Viking Sports Network. We got second quarter action here. Tennessee High, after one, leads 16-10 over Volunteer. Again, this is opening round, Big 7 conference action. Winner goes on, loser goes home. Big time stakes here as Tennessee High brings the ball into the front court. Kendall Cross out top. Volunteer switched defenses a couple times that first quarter. They've stuck primarily in the second part of that quarter and into the second quarter with a man-to-man. Inside to Tori Ryan, little reverse pivot, short jump shot, but it's blocked by number 12, Knittle. Nice defense right there, moving her feet, keeping her hands high, and got a little piece of that shot. Now she's down on the other end with a look from three, deep, no good. And we got an over-the-back foul there on number 23, Crawley. Good look there for Knittel. It's a good shooter. Left that one. First shot, she left a little short. Second shot, overcompensated a little bit, went a little bit long. You don't want to leave her open out there. In the last game that these two teams played, she was deadly from the perimeter. Made several threes from both those wing spots. So again, can't count on her missing that for too many times, especially when she's that wide open. So Tennessee High fortunate on that defensive possession. Now back to the 1-4 high. Tennessee High's playing with basically everybody, pulling everybody away from the rim, running some dribble handoffs out front, kicking out to Hayes, looking to get the ball inside to Ryan. Nice little kick in there. She's going to reverse pivot, go up underneath. Got a good look at it, but left it short. Good defense there by Barton, making it tough on Ryan, getting that shot over the top of her. Good defense there. Baseline drive by Huff, no good. Barton on the backside gets the board, and she scores. That's where she did a lot of damage in the last ball game as well, in that weak side block where she takes advantage of her size. Tennessee didn't really have an answer to that unless they can get defenders in between her and the rim. So that's just a fact when it comes down to this. 1-4 high again for Tennessee High, running ball screens. Kick out to Hayes, who hit a shot from there earlier. That one's a little long. Off a Volunteer, saves it inside. Barton's able to secure it. And now Volunteers got numbers if they hurry. Huff in the front court. Good job by Tennessee High to get back. Good job by Riley Fritz right there. Really nice job. She causes the turnover into the front court. She's going to take it strong to the rim. It's nice defense there by Huff on the recovery, and now knocked out of bounds. Kendra Huff did a really nice job of recovering there, and Fritz had to slow down to try to make that play. Huff came in, got a hand on that ball, and made it really tough on Fritz to be able to get the ball up to the rim. Tennessee High retains possession, however. Ball is kicked over to Blair. Blair cross. Hayes, Fritz, and Ryan, the Tennessee High starters, are in. Volunteers back to the 2-3. Switching defenses here back to their base defense. Inside to Ryan. Nice little up and under move. Takes it strong and scores. That's where Tori Ryan can do the damage against a taller player. She's got good footwork, uses ball fakes well, and is quick. So that's going to be her recipe for success against the taller players, against a Volunteer inside. That's 8 points already for Tori Ryan on the offensive end. So getting good production in this early phase. Tennessee High sticking with a man-to-man. It's been effective for him so far. Nice move there by Dean, but she left it a little bit long. Good rebound there by Tori Ryan off the back glass. Good defense there by Fritz as well, making that a tough shot. Even though Dean had a little bit of an avenue to get to the rim, they closed quickly, and Tennessee High's defense comes through on another possession. Little elevator action there for Madison Blair. Off the back iron, no good. Kicked off, and Barton gets another board. Volunteer into the front court. Knittel's going to drive on in. Takes it to the right, no good. Ball's knocked out. Can't really tell who that was off of. Looks like it's going to stay here with Volunteer. I guess we have a 30-second timeout coming up. Tennessee High's going to pause and talk about what's going on. Tennessee High's defense really so far has been pretty solid. Really good ball pressure on the perimeter, making it tough on Volunteers guards to really operate out there. Again, one of Volunteers' big advantages here is number 14, Barton, on the inside, who is basically a head taller than anybody that Tennessee High can put on the floor, and has good hands and can kind of play inside and out. But Tennessee has done a pretty decent job of keeping her under wraps so far by pushing pressure out to the perimeter and making it hard for the Volunteer guards to spot the advantages that they might have. So that's, I'm sure, what Coach Bright is preaching to her gals right there, to make sure that they continue to put ball pressure on these Volunteer guards, making it tough for them to see the advantage that might be inside. Tennessee High comes out of the timeout in a little bit of a trap situation there. Hayes and Fritz jumping out. They do fall back into a man, it appears, inside. Nice hands there by Hayes. They were trying to get it inside to Barton. So again, Coach from Volunteer probably heard me in that timeout. Here's Blair with a good look from a three. Couldn't quite knock that one down. After her first two shots went through, she's missed her last three. But that's, again, good looks for the sophomore there. Really good opportunities that I'm sure will keep falling as long as she keeps firing. So as we roll on through here to about the 4-minute mark, Tennessee High continues to maintain a 6-point lead. Volunteer in the front court. We've got a foul. A little reach-in foul, it appears. Volunteer's going to take the ball out of bounds. Foul on Riley Fritz. That's her first foul. We've got number 2, Elise McKinney, coming into the ball game for Volunteers. Going to replace Dean. She's going to take the ball out of bounds as well as she comes on in. Volunteer kicking in. Number 1, Huff, out to the top of the key. Crosses shadowing her. Tennessee High sticking with the man-to-man. It's worked really well for them so far. They played really good help off of these dribble drives. Nice move there by Knittel, blocked by Ryan, and off her foot, out of bounds. Again, another good example of Tennessee High's help defense right there. Really doing a good job of sliding over on those initial drives, challenging shots, keeping Volunteer for the most part out of the paint, and challenging everything that Volunteer puts up. So I'm sure Coach Bright is thrilled with the way that that's gone so far. Tennessee High really doing a great job of sliding their feet and making it tough on Volunteer getting the shots that they want. Volunteer appears to go man-to-man here in this possession. Mac Newport in the game for Tennessee High. Riley Fritz getting everybody set. Back to Cross. We got a 1-4 high set coming. Back screen and dive. Nice job inside by Ryan to get open, and good pass. A really nice set right there. Over the top kind of fade screen. Ryan on the drive on the inside and was able to knock that down. Again, Knittel takes another look at a three. I think that was partially blocked by Fritz, who's been super active out here on the perimeter. The ball wouldn't have come up that short, I don't think, unless it was tipped. So good job by Riley Fritz on the reaction. Tennessee High's gone 3-2 zone on this possession. So switching defenses with a little bit different lineup in there. Newport out at the top. Inside there to Barton. That's her game. Kind of high-low. Missed that one. Left that one a little bit short. That's what we were talking about in the pregame. The idea from she scored on the block. She is more than capable, Barton, of stepping out to the free throw line area and knocking down jumpers. So again, not a surprise to see her take that one. Just left that one a little bit short. Tennessee High with an 8-point lead, looking to extend this lead to double figures. Inside to Ryan, hands off to Cross, takes it in strong, and she's going to be fouled. She's going to earn herself a couple of free throws right there. Nice give and go action by Tennessee High. Give and go. It's as old as the game, but it still works when it's executed properly. Nicely done there by both Ryan and Cross. Foul on number 12, Knittel. That's her first. And now Cross to the line for 2 shots. Her first free throw is up and off the rim, no good. Got a bevy of subs coming in here. Annie Hayes coming back in for Madison Blair is going to give her a break. Crawley and number 20, Danielle Sizemore, in for Volunteer. Second free throw coming for Cross. 2:51 left in the first half. Tennessee High with an 8-point lead currently. Cross's second free throw is up and good. Now the lead increases to 9. Biggest lead of the game for Tennessee High at this point. Again, stingy defense so far by Tennessee High. Switching defenses, lots of ball pressure out on the perimeter. And again, another tip pass there by Tori Ryan. Good active hands there. Tennessee High really being active on the ball. Good help defense as well, stepping out there and taking passing lanes away. McKinney's going to drive in, take it up off the left-hand side. No good. Good defense again by Kendall Cross, making that a tough shot for McKinney, trying to lean in but could not convert. Tennessee High into the front court. Fritz is going to dive into the middle right there off the glass. No good. Rebounded there by her counterpart, number 23, Crawley. Here's Sizemore for 3 from deep, and it's going to be off the rim, no good, and out of bounds. Madison Blair checking back in. He's going to give Riley Fritz a break, and number 3, Dean, back in for Huff. So Tennessee had to trigger it back in just a little bit more than 2 minutes ago. Actually, they're not going to trigger it in there. It's going to be a timeout called here. So, quick timeout, 30-second timeout here as we head to the 2-minute mark of the second quarter. Volunteer takes that timeout. So, as we get ready to trigger this back in, again, Tennessee High with a 9-point lead here, looking to increase this lead to double figures in this scenario. This is I'm not sure in the previous game that the lead ever actually got to that level. It seemed like it was really a 1 or 2 possession game all game long. So Tennessee High opening up almost a double figure lead here in the first half is a little bit of a surprise. They shot the ball really well early, and then really what's carried them through this entire game so far has been their defense. Their defense has been extremely stingy, making it really tough on Volunteer to get good looks at the basket. So Tennessee High looking to extend this lead as we head into halftime here as we approach the 2-minute mark. Volunteer back at a 2-3. Hayes inside. Nice move there by Crawley to step in and steal that pass. She's going to take it strong to the rim and is called for an offensive foul. Kind of a bang-bang play there. Looked like she might have been able to step through. And by the book there, that could have been easily called a block. but again, the referee must have determined that the contact took place before that step through. That's the third foul. That's a big play. That's the third foul on Crawley as well. Bang, bang play. That's tough. Tennessee High gets the ball back on the turnover. Volunteer again sticking with the 2-3 on this possession. They've been switching defenses as well. Kick into Hayes from the corner. She got a good look at it and left it it's a little bit off to the right. But Tennessee High is able to secure it. But good hands there by number 2. McKinney is able to cause a turnover there on a travel. And Volunteers are going to get the ball back. So missed opportunity there for Tennessee High off the offensive board. Volunteer now back into the half court with about 1 minute and 30 seconds to play. 90 seconds in the first half. Tennessee High maintains a 9-point lead. Again, same thing. Very, very good pressure defense by Tennessee High. Got a little too handsy there on that possession. That's going to result in the foul. But again, that's only Tennessee High's third foul of the half. So they've played really good aggressive defense and played it without fouling. That's the key. I've seen plenty of aggressive defenses that end up having real issues because of too many fouls called. Tennessee High's had a really good first half in doing both of those two things. Play defense with your feet, not with your hands, and that's what Tennessee High is really doing right now. Sizemore on the drive, kicks out. Here's Knittel for 2 on the backup shot, and she made it. Again, she's too good of a shooter to leave open. That was a really nice little step back shot there. Had a foot on the line, so it's just a 2-point shot. That's a nice move there by number 12, Kennedy Knittel. Step back shot, quite effective against the Tennessee High pressure defense overall. So Tennessee High looks content at least to whittle this clock down. We're under a minute to play here in the second quarter. Right before halftime. Volunteer extending a little bit to make sure Tennessee High doesn't just dribble into one shot, but they're going to make them work for it. But Tennessee High looks pretty content to run this thing down and try to play for one shot here in this second quarter. Fritz kicks across, finds Hayes on the far side. Good skip pass there, relieving a little bit of pressure out top to Blair. Dean's checking her, back to Fritz. Heading up on 20 seconds here. Tennessee High did a good job here of whittling this thing down to maybe just take the last shot of the half. Nicely done. Good discipline there, good patience. And we're heading up on the 10-second mark. Now Tennessee High's going to go ahead and trigger this thing, see if they can get a good look at a shot before the half. Nice look inside. Blair's going to take it up strong, but got herself kind of twisted up behind the backboard there. Ball is loose. Back to Fritz. She's going to take it in strong. Less than 2 seconds to go off the rim, and no good. Tough play right there. Had a good opportunity, 2 good looks at the basket. Tennessee High could not capitalize on either one, but they still go into halftime here with a 7-point lead. That's a big situation for Tennessee High to extend into a 3-possession game at halftime after the game previously between these two was nip and tuck all game long. So good half there by Tennessee High. We keep coming back to the fact that their defense played really well throughout that half and only gave up 14 points and a half. Which is about as stingy as it gets. So we're going to kick it over to our man Colin. We got about 10 minutes here. We're going to for halftime. We'll get back to you guys for the third quarter here in just a few.
In these moments, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes.
And it doesn't matter if you don't have an app. You always have a trusted insurance agent here when you need us.
With the help of Homeowners Insurance, Gilly McCready Sneed & Cuddy is proud to have met the insurance needs of Tennessee and Virginia for more than 20 years. There is a difference. Call Gilly McCready Sneed & Cuddy. Here for you when it matters.
I stay on that hustle, I fix that little muscle. I hate to bust your bubble, I'm on another level. Yes, y'all, work to be the best, y'all. I got the power, I got the power.
Let's go, CHS, let's go, boys.
might be a little while before I get to the bank.
That's an incomplete pass. Let's give it a Renaissance replay. Renaissance Mobile Check Deposit. Make the right call and open an account with Renaissance today.
No matter what size adventure you're into, the award-winning family of Hyundai SUVs has something that'll make everyone happy. We get it. That's a lot to drool over. Hyundai. The longer you look, the more there is to like.
Drive a new 2021 Tucson for $19,900.
Nobody beats Friendship Hyundai of Bristol and Johnson City. We're dealing.
Welcome back to VSN, the Viking Sports Network. I'm your host, CJ Manahan. We're getting ready to start the second half here in about 90 seconds. Quick first half recap as we look at what happened between these two teams, Tennessee High Lady Vikings and the Volunteer Lady Falcons. Tennessee High currently has a 7-point lead They started out the game, the Lady Vikings, shooting the ball really well, hit buckets on their first several possessions, and then Volunteer kind of fought their way back in and made the game close as we headed to the end of the first quarter. Tennessee High pushed out to a maximum 9-point lead in that second quarter. And was able to maintain a pretty steady lead throughout that entire period. So as we sit now, as we head into the third quarter, Tennessee High has a larger lead now, I believe, than they had at any time that these teams played just about a week ago. So again, I'm sure Coach Bright at halftime is praising her gals for being able to start out a game that really has the entire season on the line here. This is a Big 7 conference tournament game. Winner moves forward, loser goes home. So when it comes down to that, the first half of these ball games a lot of times sets the tone for how the rest of the game is going to go. And as I've said on more than one occasion, I'll say it again, the first 4 minutes of this second half are really going to be important for both teams. Volunteers going to try to dig back in, try to make this a one-possession game by that time. Tennessee High is going to try to push this lead out to double figures by that time. And again, so this first 4 minutes is really going to determine kind of the pace of this entire third quarter. As I shoot a little salute out here to our man Eddie Gray, who's our resident photographer in this case. Does a great job for the Tennessee High community in that case. So a little shout out Eddie Gray right there, making things happen here at Viking Hall. So as we start this third quarter, let's see who's got the ball coming out. It appears that Volunteer will have possession to start the second half. Tennessee High will start the half on defense. And it looks like both teams. Well, we've got one change in the starting lineup. Aaliyah Crawley's got 3 fouls, so she's going to start the second half on the bench. Kendra Huff is going to take her place in Volunteers lineup as we head out. So let's get this thing underway. Canoodle on the wing. Tennessee High in a man-to-man. Little pick and roll there with Barton. Roll on the backside to Dean. And Tennessee High continues the pressure man-to-man. Good ball pressure in the first half made a huge difference for Tennessee High's defense. Overall. Inside to Barton, she turns and scores. Nice job. Good patience there by the Lady Falcons. Even though Tennessee High was ball hawking out there, they did a good job of getting the ball down low to their best post player, who turned and scored with hoop and harm right there, bringing the lead to 5 with 1 free throw to come. Barton's free throw is up and good, and Volunteer starts the half about as well as you can start it with a 3-point play. And now brings the lead back to 4. Going to get back to the 2-3 zone. They kind of moved in between 2-3 and man-to-man in that first half. Played a little bit of both. Tennessee High played a handful of possessions of zone, but played mostly kind of that pressure man-to-man that we saw all the way through. Cross with a good look at a 3. Leaves it a little bit short. Battle inside, and Barton's able to secure the board. Good look there for Cross, just a little bit short on the follow-through. And Volunteer brings the ball into the front court, down 4. Tennessee High sticking with a man-to-man, fronting in the post there, trying to stay on the top side of Barton, making Volunteer, if they're going to throw that pass, throw the ball over 2 defenders. A little strategy up there, little double hands. Double hands, that's going to get called every time. A little hand check foul there on number 12, Kendall Cross. Sometimes you get away with 1, but you put 2 hands out, it's almost always going to get called. Referee tagged Cross with her second foul there on that play. Volunteer getting ready to trigger in. Barton, nice move down low, but we got a 5-second call. Tennessee High just sniffed out what the Volunteer was trying to do on the backside. Barton, number 14, slid open for just a second, but Tori Ryan slid over to take that away, and that caused the 5-second turnover call in that case. So Tennessee High secures possession back and is now in the front court with Kendall Cross bringing it through. Blair and Ryan down low. Hayes, Cross, and Fritz around the perimeter. And the kind of the high-low action that Tennessee High likes to run against these zones. Fritz has got a good look for a 3. A little bit long. Ryan gets up strong for that. Tips it. Ball's loose on the ground. And looks like we're going to get a jump ball. Yep, jump ball action. Good hustle by both teams. Tennessee High is going to retain possession on the alternating arrow. Tennessee High is going to take the ball out of bounds here. Box set for them out of bounds. Riley Fritz is going to trigger it in. Tennessee High with back-to-back good looks from 3. Just couldn't quite get either one of them to fall. Ball's kicked into Hayes. She's got a good look at 1. And nice job there by Huff running through that play, distracting Hayes, and she went up and down with that ball. That's a travel. So turnover there. Good defense by Volunteer to cause that turnover. Looked like Hayes had a good look at a 3. Just couldn't quite get it off in time with the flashing Huff coming across and making that play defensively. 1-2 too low here for Volunteer. Looking for that over-the-top pass, and there it is. Just like we described, Tennessee High is going to front that post, but the backside guard's got to be there. Otherwise, it's going to be an easy play. So Tennessee High trying to put two defenders in between themselves and Barton, but if there's no backside help, that's all day. That's just an easy over-the-top play, and Barton took advantage. And here we are with now this 7-point halftime lead whittled down to 2, and Tennessee High's got a little bit slower pace here in the third quarter, and Volunteers got a little bit more pep in their step here. Again, 3 around 1. Got Hayes popping over to Blair. He's got a good look at it, and there it is. Madison Blair, another really good look, and she's able to knock that one down. Missed a couple of shots in a row there at the end of the second quarter. Still has the confidence to line that one up and knock it down. That's big for the sophomore right there. Her second 3 of the ball game. Inside to Barton is double teamed, but is able to push through that, and is going to have a foul called. Annie Hayes on the rotation is going to get called for the foul. That's a 3rd foul for Tennessee High already here in the second half. They only had three or four, I believe, in the entire first half. But again, strategy change for Volunteer. Going to take the ball down low to Barton, who's really effective there, and they've gotten to the free throw line twice already off of that. First free throw there up for Barton is no good. Second one coming is up and good. 24-20, Tennessee High. Again, Volunteer sticking with a 2-3. Been in the zone the entire third quarter here. Extending it up high though, Barton all the way up to the free throw line. So again, Tennessee High has some room behind her to work with cuts on the backside. There's Blair again from the exact same spot. No good that time. And secured by Knittel, number 12. Good board for her. Dean into the front court. Fritz hustling back, was trying to hit that ball from behind. No good. There's Knittel again. Got a good look at a 3. Wouldn't go for her. Annie Hayes secures the rebound for Tennessee High. She's going to roll into the front court here. Over to Fritz. Tennessee High sets up against this Volunteer 2-3. Good ball swing there by Tennessee High, looking to work the short corner in the high post. Fritz off the dribble, over to Cross, knifes in, takes it up strong, but shoots the ball right into the outstretched hand of Barton, who swatted that away easily. Wyatt takes the ball into the front court, up and in. Nice move. Good finish there, through a little bit of contact by number 13, Emily Wyatt. Nice play. And that is going to prompt a timeout for Tennessee High. Right at about that 4-minute mark, as we said, Volunteer has done the work to be able to cut this lead back to 1 possession, just like we said. And now we got ourselves a ball game. It's a full timeout, so we're going to kick it over to our man Colin for, looks like some cheerleader action coming out. Tennessee High cheerleaders.
$5 for my own money?
That's a bad call. Let's give him a Renaissance replay. Sign up for Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking with ATM refunds today.
4:19 to play here in the third quarter. Tennessee High with the ball out of bounds. Volunteer has cut this lead from 7 down to 2 here in the first 4 minutes of the third quarter. And this is much more like the ball game that we saw this past week. It's going to be nip and tuck very likely the rest of this game. Volunteer did the work of making sure that game didn't get away from them coming into the third quarter. Now a 1-possession game as Tennessee High works the ball in the front court. Mac Newport's in the game for Tennessee High out of the timeout. She's working high post area. Fritz comes back across. High-low action. 3 around 1, actually 1-3-1 in that case. Good kick over to Blair. Here's Cross on the drive inside. Took it up over top of Barton that time. Tori Ryan got the board, and we're going to get a foul on a reach in there on Volunteer. It's like number 3, Dean, is going to get called for the foul. Good offensive board there by Tori Ryan. A big part of her game is working that offensive glass. So Tennessee High gets the second possession. Inside to Fritz, nice cut. Got out to Blair, got a good look at it. A little bit long off the rim, no good. And there's Barton again, cleaning up the glass in the middle there for Volunteer. Dean pushes strong into the front court. Knittel off that little dribble handoff. Good job by Fritz there by really moved her feet well. Here's Dean in the corner. He's got a good look at it. Off the rim, no good. Battle for it. 13 Wyatt comes up with it. Dean steps through, but they're going to call it for steps. Yep. Extra step there. Cost, that's a turnover. And Tennessee High will get possession back. Kendall Cross into the front court. Tennessee High working looks like they're going to go with 3-2 offense here against this 2-3. Volunteers stuck with this zone defense this entire third quarter. It's worked for them pretty well. Tennessee High's been held to just one bucket here in the third. That's Blair taking it up strong, no good, and tipped out of bounds by Torrey Ryan. Ball is going to go back to Volunteer. Yeah, Tennessee High with just the single three-point bucket here in the third quarter. Volunteers able to work themselves back into this ball game with pretty stingy defense and some timely offense as we dip under the 3-minute mark here in the third. Barton's moved up to the high post now. Good inside out. There's Knittel in the corner with a great look. In and out. There's Barton diving down, getting the board. No good. Back up again. That is number 2. It looks like McKinney with the third board, and they're able to score on the third opportunity. Tennessee High wasn't able to secure the defensive board that time, and it cost them. 3 looks on the offensive end will almost always end up in a bucket for an offense, and that's exactly what happened there. Tennessee High working the ball around the perimeter on the offensive end. Blair in the corner. Going to kick the ball across there. There's Cross taking it in strong up the glass. No good. She gets her own rebound. Takes it up strong again. Also no good. Continues the battle. But Knittel is able to secure that board and bring it on out. 2 good looks there for Cross. Couldn't get either one to go. Yep, and we got again, same thing. Dean slid her pivot foot just slightly. Referee caught it. Called for traveling there. Turnover. Volunteer back to Tennessee High with just under 2 minutes here to play in a very exciting third quarter. A lot of action going on in this case. Volunteer has worked their way back from a 7-point deficit to tie this ball game up. Tennessee High held to only 3 points here in the third quarter. Here's Fritz in the front court, working on the wing up to Cross. Ball screen there by Ryan in the high post, trying to get those guys free. Dribble handoffs. Fritz back over to Newport, inside to Ryan. And we got a reach-in foul there by Volunteer as well. Good strong play there by Tennessee High. Good ball movement, got the ball inside, and they drew a foul. It's going to be on number 3, Dean. That's her third foul. So we've got Huff coming in. Number 10, Kendra Huff's going to replace her. Tennessee High takes the ball out of bounds with just a little bit more than 90 seconds to play. Ball's kicked into Newport. She's got a good look at it. Left it short. Good box out there by Dean again, who's heading on up to double-figure rebounds if she's not there already. Really cleaning up the glass for Volunteer, doing a lot of work there in that middle part of that zone. Fritz out there on Huff. Huff takes it in strong. We got a 5-second call. And that's a tough call, especially as an offensive player is pivoting and going to the rim. But I guess in a technical sense, it's probably the right one. But in the end, again, that's a tough call for a referee to make, and it's a tough call to make on a player that's really trying to get to the rim. But that's the way it's going to be called here. In this case, turnover Volunteer, back to Tennessee High in the half court. 24-24. Inside to Fritz. Takes it down low to Ryan. Takes it up strong. No good. And we have a foul here on Volunteer, it appears, on the backside rebound. Number 1, Huff, I believe, is called for the foul. That's correct. And Tennessee High is going to take the ball out of bounds. That's the third team foul on Volunteer. First on Huff. Tennessee High triggering it out of bounds. Into Fritz, who's got a good look at a 3. That ball is going to go a little bit long. And there's Huff again on that defensive backside. Good rebound for the guard right there. Front court to Knittel, into the corner to McKinney. She's going to take it in on the drive. Nice dump down to Barton, and she scores. That's a really nice move there by the junior, Elise McKinney. Found Barton on the backside, put herself in good position to receive that pass. And we got a foul in the body right there. The bucket's good, hoop and harm. We've got one free throw coming for Barton here as Volunteer takes their first lead of the second half. The shot is up and no good off the back iron. Torrey Ryan is going to rip down that rebound, and we're going to have a foul on Volunteer. Reach in again in that case. It's going to be on number 13, Emily Wyatt. The Volunteers work their way back from a 7-point deficit to take the lead here in the third quarter with under a minute to go. Showing some mettle here in the third quarter. Tennessee High still stuck on 3 points here in the third quarter as they move the ball into the front court. Blair, Cross, and Anna Kate Kinch is in the ball game for Tennessee High on the perimeter. There goes Cross and her patented left-hand drive, and she's going to get called for an offensive foul. Again, kind of a bang-bang play. Kind of tough to see from the angle that I have there if the Volunteer player was squared up. Referee said she was. Foul was called, and we play on. 30 seconds on the nose here in the third quarter. Volunteer takes the ball in the front court with a 2-point lead. Tennessee High in the man-to-man. Barton out top. Running a little flex action here. Pass and cut action for Volunteer. Heading on to 10 seconds here in the third quarter. Here comes Huff out to the top. Broke that little action up. Under 10 to go. Huff on the drive, takes it strong, and is going to be called for an offensive foul. Kendall Cross called for an offensive foul on the other end, steps in there and takes the contact herself and causes the foul on Huff to be called in that particular case. Again, gave up her body on that one. Quite a bit of contact. But Tennessee High's going to have the ball here with just under 4 seconds to go. Ball's kicked into Fritz. She's going to have a couple dribbles here. Kicks ahead to Blair. He's got a good look from distance. Ooh, off the rim, no good. It's about as good as you're going to get under 4 seconds right there. Good job by Tennessee High to get a good look. But after 3, Volunteer has worked their way back from a 7-point deficit to take a 2-point lead here as we head into the fourth quarter. We're going to kick it over to Colin here for some further action with the Tennessee High cheerleaders. All right, welcome back, Viking. Welcome back to VSN, the Viking Sports Network. We are in fourth quarter action, beginning of the fourth quarter here. Volunteer has a 2-point lead over Tennessee High, taking the ball out of bounds, and we got this fourth quarter underway. 2-point game, nip and tuck. Volunteer working their way back from a deficit at the beginning of the third, and now looking to go and extend that offensive play. And there it is again. Same play that started the third quarter, almost exactly, with a lob pass and no backside help. And Vita Barton was able to knock that ball down, put that ball in the hole. And now Volunteer takes a 2-possession lead at 4 points, 28-24. Tennessee High in the half court here against this consistent 2-3 zone that Volunteers played almost this entire second half. Down to the short corner to Blair. Back out to Fritz here. She's going to drive in. Kicks back out to Blair. Has got a good look at a 3. No good. Kicks off the back iron, and Wyatt is going to push the ball into the front court. Good hustle by Fritz to get back there and stop that possession from getting into a fast break scenario. Tennessee High caught in that little bit of a transition there. There's Barton again. Tennessee High look a little confused there defensively, whether they're playing man or zone, and Volunteer burned them. So 6-point lead now for Volunteer as they pushed out to their largest lead of the game. Tennessee High still working against this zone, and they need a timeout to kind of get things settled. Volunteer comes out with good energy here in the fourth quarter and is able to get 2 quick buckets from number 14, Barton. And Tennessee High looks just a little bit discombobulated. Coach Bright's going to get him over there on the side, get him talked to, get a timeout in, and get everything set. So we got a full timeout. We're going to kick it over to Colin for some advertisement.
No matter what size adventure you're into, the award-winning family of Hyundai SUVs has something that'll make everyone happy. We get it. That's a lot to drool over. Hyundai, the longer you look, the more there is to like.
Drive a new 2021 Tucson for $19,900.
Nobody beats Friendship Hyundai of Bristol and Johnson City. We're dealing.
$5 for my own money?
That's a bad call. Let's give him a Renaissance replay. Sign up for Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking with ATM refunds today.
Welcome back. We got fourth quarter action here at Viking Hall. Volunteer has built a 6-point lead here in the fourth quarter. Tennessee High looking to dig back into that. Lady Vikings here with just under 7 minutes to play. So we've got plenty of game action left to go. But Volunteers definitely showed the initiative here in this last little bit. Nice kick inside to Ryan. Back out to Hayes. Tennessee High working the ball around the perimeter here, being patient. And we got a little travel there. Moved her pivot foot. And that's going to be a turnover for Tennessee High. Back to Volunteer. Tennessee High got to get a couple of defensive stops, stem the tide, and get themselves back a couple of buckets on the offensive end. Good hands by Riley Fritz. Attacks that ball, is able to pick it up, but that was a legal play because she was dribbling. Back up to Cross, who takes it in strong. Ball is tipped away from her and out of bounds. Good kind of game point right there. Oftentimes that's called a travel, and it's rightly called when a player goes down to the ground and gets back up with it. But there, Fritz was able to actually start a dribble and was able to stand up with the ball legally in that case. Glad the referees caught that one correctly. Into Cross, she takes it in strong. Kicks it over to Ryan's going to take it in. Over two defenders, takes it up strong and scores. Well-timed bucket and a needed bucket there by Tori Ryan. Very physical play. The senior coming through for her team right there, putting the ball in the hole and cutting this lead back down to 4. Tennessee High sticking with a man-to-man defensively. It's worked well for them most of the night. Again, only given up 30 points through this process, so defense has not been the issue. Tennessee High just kind of come up a little bit empty on the offensive end through the third quarter. But again, 2 good defensive possessions in a row there by the Lady Vikings, causing turnovers on both of those. So their energy is now picked up. And we got a heck of a game going here in the last 5 minutes and 40 seconds with only a 4-point spread here at this point. So both teams picking up the intensity. The energy is really high. You can feel it here in Viking Hall at the moment. Both teams know that the season is on the line in the last 5 minutes and 30 seconds. Inside to Ryan's got a good look from the elbow, kicks off the rim and almost drops. Barton there is able to clean up the boards as she's been doing all night long. She's owned the paint there on the defensive end. When that ball's come off the rim, she's been there to get just about every one of those boards. There she is on the inside, backing in Ryan. Ryan has a nice block there, reaches down on the ball directly and is able to get a full-on clean block shot. Tennessee High into the front court. Fritz is pushing pace. Kicks the ball down to Ryan, takes it up strong, and she scores. So Tori Ryan doing the work, imploring her teammates at this point in time, telling them let's keep on moving forward. A block and a score on either end. That's what you want your seniors to do, is lead the way. She's doing her part right now, pulls Tennessee High within 2 points as we dip down to the about 4-minute and 30-second mark here in the fourth quarter. Palpable energy here in Viking Hall as both teams are scrapping and clawing here for the victory in a winner-go-home situation. So, Volunteer slowing it down here, trying to get set. It's really spreading Tennessee High's defense out in this case. There's McKinney from the corner for 3, and she buries it. Good look for her. She was ready and stepped into that 3 confidently and knocked it down. Good offense there by Volunteer. Went to a really spread offense pushed a nice drive and kick action. So good call there and good execution for Volunteer on that wide open 3-point hit. So 5-point lead halfway through the fourth quarter. Tennessee High into the front court. There's Blair with a good look, and she's got it trying to match that 3 from the other end. No good. Hayes is able to get the board, kicks it into Fritz, and she scores. So Tennessee High answers with an offensive rebound there and a bucket. Nice pass into Riley Fritz cutting to the middle, and she's able to just secure that bucket. 3-point lead, 1-possession game as we move to the 3-minute and 30-second mark here in the final quarter. Tennessee High sticking with the pressure man. Volunteer moving to the old flex play here off of that pass and cut. Tennessee High doing their best to get through those screens, keep the ball pressure, anticipating. There's Barton cutting through. She's going to be double teamed in there. Kicks the ball back out to Wyatt. She's got a good look at a 3. That one's going to go long. Bang, and then get a good rebound there by Annie Hayes was in the right place at the right time to secure that board. Here goes Fritz into the front court, kicks out to Blair, who's got another good look at a three. Left that one short, and Volunteer recovers the board. Again, two really good looks in a row for Madison Blair from the perimeter. Couldn't get either one of them to go. So, dipped under 3 minutes here as we head to the end of this ball game. Tight action with just a one-possession game at the moment. There goes Knittel to the middle. No good. Good defense there by Blair to be able to force that shot up and secure the boards. Tennessee High into the front court, 2.5 minutes to go. Volunteer has played nothing but 2-3 zone here in the second half, and it's worked really well for them, only giving up 9 points to Tennessee High in the entire second half. Yet Tennessee High is only down 3. Here's Hayes for 3, long range, no good. Good box out there by number 12, Knittel there, keeping Tori Ryan off the backside rim, off the backside glass. So, we got a timeout coming, full timeout. A lot of action here in this last little bit. And this game, again, stays within one possession. We've got a Volunteer timeout, 60-second. We'll kick it over to Colin.
$5 for my own money?
That's a bad call. Let's give him a Renaissance replay. Sign up for Renaissance Rewards Extra Checking with ATM refunds today.
In these moments, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes.
And it doesn't matter if you don't have an app. You always have a trusted insurance agent here when you need us.
With the help of homeowners insurance, Gilly, McCready, Sneed & Cuddy is proud to have met the insurance needs of Tennessee and Virginia for more than 20 years. There is a difference. Call Gilly, McCready, Sneed & Cuddy. Here for you when it matters.
Welcome back to VSN, the Viking Sports Network. We are coming down to the wire here at Viking Hall this evening. Volunteer with a 33-30 lead as we head into the final stage of the fourth quarter. Volunteers ball coming into the front court. Tennessee High is going to extend their defense into, looks like, a full court man-to-man pressure. Then Volunteers going to bring it up into the half court, kicked over to their point guard Dean, and they're going to set up here with 2 minutes to go. Again, both teams have a foul to give, and there it is. Tennessee High's going to take it. That'll be Tennessee High's 16th foul. So next one will actually go into the bonus. Full-on man-to-man here for Tennessee High in the half court. Ooh, they passed it into a person that wasn't looking. Dean did a good job of securing that. We've got a little kind of run and jump trap here right now for Tennessee High. Volunteers looking to run this clock down. Tennessee High is going to have to extend pressure and possibly foul, and there it is. That's going to be the 17th foul on Tennessee High. Third on Riley Fritz. 1 minute and 37 seconds to go. It's going to send Atlee Dean to the free throw line for a 1-and-1 opportunity. So 1 plus a bonus here. First shot coming. Dean's shot is up and off the rim, no good. Secure defensive rebound by Blair. Nice job by Tennessee High there, securing that possession. Kick ahead to Fritz. She's going to take it in. Nice little turn. Gets it to Ryan, who's going to take it in strong. Up over the top and scores. Big time play by Tori Ryan there. Taking it into the teeth of the defense, scoring over the taller the taller Barton there. And now we have a one-possession game. Tennessee High looking to, and we got some turnover there. Good job by Riley. Great work on the ball. Dean had decent position down low, but because of that ball pressure, the pass was errant, and Tennessee High gets the ball back with 1 minute and 11 seconds to play, looking to take the lead on this possession. Big offensive play by Tori Ryan, senior. Big defensive play by Riley Fritz, senior. That's what you want out of your senior leadership in these tough game situations. Tennessee High again looking to take the lead here on this possession. 1-point ball game as we hit the minute mark in the fourth quarter. Kick to Hayes in the corner, back out to Fritz. She turns over to Cross. Out back to Hayes again. Again, back to Fritz. Got her lined up three from the distance. No good off the back rim. Good rebound there by Volunteer. Tennessee High got a defensive steal there by Blair. Another errant pass by Volunteer. We got a timeout. Timeout was called just before a held ball was going to be called. I think that's the right call. It's a little bit delayed there. but I think the timeout was called before they held ball, so good that the referees got that one correct. Okay, so 30-second timeout. Again, that's kind of a bang-bang play, but as I saw it in real time, I could hear the timeout being called by the Tennessee High bench before the actual held ball would have been called, so I think it is the right call in that case. So, again, coming right down to the wire, what would we expect between these two teams, especially when we saw this game played here just a handful of days ago? It ended very, very similarly to this one. Volunteer has a lead at this point of 1 point. Tennessee High has the ball on the going to be taken on the side out of bounds. This game is shaping up very much like the game we saw last week. So, looks like Tennessee High is going to take it out of bounds on the side. Kendall Cross is going to trigger it in. Tennessee High with their starters in at this point, and I think Volunteer has theirs in. No, they got number 2, McKinney, is in the ball game as well for a Volunteer. Hayes in the corner, kicks it back to Fritz at the top. We're heading up on the 30-second mark here. There's Cross. He's got a good look at it. Off the rim, no good. Hayes just swoops in and gets that offensive board. That's a big play. Here's Fritz diving in off the right-hand side, no good. And then we got a foul. Tennessee High with a couple of decent looks at it there, couldn't quite get it to go. And foul on the defensive board, and that's going to send number 23 Crawley to the line for a 1-and-1. Just under 20 seconds to go. 19.7. Volunteer clinging to a 1-point lead and has a 1-and-1 shot here from number 23 Crawley. First free throw is up and off the rim, no good. Tennessee High secures it. Torrey Ryan kicks ahead to Kendall Cross as we head up to the 15-second mark. Cross is going to take it in strong, up off the window, no good. Battle for it inside. Barton's got it, and we have a foul. Another good look by Tennessee High, just could not quite get it to go. Cross drove in strong, tried to get it up off the glass, and it just kind of kicked off. And then all night long, number 14, Veda Barton's been there to clean up the defensive glass. That's really where she's been the strongest this entire evening. She's done a little bit of everything for her team, but now she's got a chance to extend this lead. Again, still 1-and-1 on this shot right here. That shot is up and good. So extend out to a 2-point lead with one more to go. Plenty of time on the clock. Still 10 seconds to go as Barton shoots her second free throw. That one is up and good. So 3-point lead for Volunteer. 2 big free throws there by Veda Barton, who's going to be able to push that lead out to a basically, again, in a technical sense here, you could still play for 2. But again, very likely Coach Bright's going to be looking to try to scheme up a play here to get a 3-point look for her team. So we got a 60-second timeout. We're going to kick it over to Colin.
In these moments, it doesn't matter if you save money in 15 minutes.
And it doesn't matter if you don't have an app. You always have a trusted insurance agent here when you need us.
With the help of homeowners insurance, Gilly McCready Sneed & Cuddy is proud to have met the insurance needs of Tennessee and Virginia for more than 20 years. There is a difference. Call Gilly McCready Sneed & Cuddy. Here for you when it matters.
Welcome back. Got 10 seconds to play here in the fourth quarter. Hold on 1 second. A little horn action there to interrupt play. So 9.9 seconds left. Volunteer with a 3-point lead. Tennessee High kicks into Fritz. He's going to push the ball up to Cross. Looking to get a 3 off. Good hands there by Volunteer. Knocked the ball out of play. Good anticipation there by number 12, Knittel. So 4.4 seconds left. Tennessee High with a 3-point deficit here. Volunteer with a 3-point lead. Tennessee High is going to set up an out-of-bounds play, it appears. We've got a full timeout, so we'll kick it right back to our man, Colin, after that 5-second runoff there.
No matter what size adventure you're into, the award-winning family of Hyundai SUVs has something that'll make everyone happy. We get it. That's a lot to drool over. Hyundai. The longer you look, the more there is to like.
Drive a new 2021 Tucson for $19,900.
Nobody beats Friendship Hyundai of Bristol and Johnson City. We're dealing.
We're back here with fourth quarter action. 4.4 seconds to go. Tennessee High takes the ball out of bounds with a 3-point deficit. On the side here, Riley Fritz is going to trigger it in. some screens on the side. Stepping up, 2. There's Ryan, got a good look at a 3, and off the rim, no good. Blair's fouled, and if she could have put that one in, it would have been an and one with a chance to tie it. But as it is, it's left short with just 0.3 seconds left to play. So wisdom here says try to make the first one, and then you got to intentionally miss the second one and try to tip it in. That's the only type of play that's going to work here with just 0.3 of a second left. So we'll see how this goes. First free throw for Blair is up, and it's good. So there's a shot here. This is going to basically have to be an intentional miss, and then Tennessee High is going to have to try to tip this thing in. And again, the players outside the three-point line can't come in until the ball hits the rim. Otherwise, it's a violation. So we'll see. Here it is. Intentional miss up off the glass and rebounded by Volunteer. And Volunteer takes the victory, 35-33. Wow, hard-fought game for both sides. Extremely well played in that case. Lots of heart, lots of action all the way down to the end. Volunteer earns the victory, rightly so. They're going to move on in the Big 7 Conference tournament. Tennessee High's season comes to a close in just a real hard-fought action. Congratulations to Coach Bright and the ladies there. Nothing really left out on the floor. Did everything they could. Volunteer just that bucket or so better. Just in kind of almost a reverse fashion of the game that we saw here last week, where Tennessee High was able to pull out a last-second victory. So congratulations to the Lady Falcons as they move on in the Big 7 tournament. Also, congratulations to the Tennessee High Lady Vikings coming through a obviously COVID-ridden season, and again coming out as really saw a lot of improvement out of that team as the season went forward. So, congratulations also to the 3 seniors, Tori Ryan, Riley Fritz, and Annie Hayes, on a well-played career here at Tennessee High. They deserve a lot of credit for putting this program in the situation that it's in. Those guys have been around a long time, playing a lot since the early stages of their high school career. So congratulations to those 3, and we'll see how this goes going forward. So again, Tennessee High's season comes to a close here tonight. The Lady Vikings lose 35-33 in the first round of the Big 7 Conference tournament. The Lady Falcons from Volunteer are moving on to the next round in that case. So this is very likely the last live stream of this season. It's been my pleasure. I'm your host, CJ Manahan. It's been my pleasure to jump in on this with you guys. Looking forward to a full season of this live stream going into next year. I hope you guys will continue to join us. Spread the word. Subscribe. There's only better things ahead as far as this goes. I also want to thank my man Colin Moore, who is the technical whiz behind this enterprise, and also Coach Barry Wade, our athletic director, for kind of setting all this up and making this happen. So, for the final time this season, this is CJ Manahan signing off on the Viking Sports Network, VSN, and as always, Viking Pride.